I don't know why I go small every time. It's so chaotic. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's live stream. Today is going to be packed. Okay, packed. We have so much to go through today. First of all, we have a very, very special guest that's going to join us. And then we have to go through all the updates that have been going out. It's been hectic. It's crazy. It's so, so good. And then obviously Luke is back with us. So he will dive into, I know you guys are going to love this. He's going to dive into some of the nerdy stuff. Okay. He posted a pretty nerdy tweet that we need to dive really deep into. So I see him laughing at me. So let's bring him right up. How's it going?
Hey everybody. Yeah, no, excited to be here in this AMA today. It hasn't been that long, but it feels like a long time to me.
Skipping one feels like a month.
Yeah, I know. But the team was awesome. The team got a ton of stuff done while I was out. And yeah, we're coming back to some pretty big, exciting updates on the ecosystem side of things. Like, for example, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but vPIXEL, basically everything about vPIXEL is on mainnet, integrated into the game. It's kind of ready to go. We're going to start experimenting with it slowly, but we'll dive into what the details are there, and we'll kind of talk about some more stuff coming on the ecosystem side later today, like what all the updates meant. And yeah, we'll dive into all your questions about that.
Okay, for starters, the energy party is on the UGC Fair map, guys. So walk west of Terravilla Central and head there. That's where the energy party is. I know we were late to announce this, but I did announce it today. And I told farm hands and I told general chat and I spread the word as much as I could. Okay. So popcorn is on the UGC Fair map. Okay. We're going to dive all into that in a bit, but make sure you're there. And then right after today's AMA, there is a Sleepagachi AMA. So we're going to have a watch party back in the Cozy Theater right after. So you're going to do a little bit of walking today and it's going to be fun. It's going to be good. Okay, let's dive right in. So if you guys are, first of all, subscribed to the Pixels post, which I know you all are, right? No question there. You will also follow us on Twitter and Discord, all the things. You probably saw that we just had a pretty exciting announcement. So DappRadar has built out Hivemind, which is AI agent swarms. There's like a whole bee theme. I'm very into it. And it's very cool. They've used pixels as their first target, their first game. It's pretty cool. It's very, very cool. I'm very excited about it. So we have a very special guest. We have Skier Mantis from the DappRadar team is going to come up and tell you guys all about it. So welcome. Thank you so much for building this and then also being here with us on the AMA.
Hi there. Very happy to be here. Thank you for managing it all also very quickly. Yeah, I think, Luke even here already told a few keywords about what you're going to be talking about or what was already done. And I think I'll start already with a use case for these agents. Sometimes you hop in, maybe you missed a few AMAs, you missed some time in Pixels, all the updates. Hey, you could just ask AI agent, what is Luke talking about? Like, what is vPIXEL, or what is this item, and so on. And that was kind of the thing that sparkled the interest in us to start with Pixels, right? It was like, I think Pixels is one of the most diverse ecosystems. And yeah, really happy to kind of talk more about, where, how it's going, where it's going, and what's next.
Yeah, maybe you could start by just giving like a high level overview of like what exactly you guys just released, like how our players can find it, and like what it does.
Exactly. Yes. So what it is, all right? We're building a whole sort of Hivemind that you can find on DappRadar. The grand idea of all the projects eventually having their own AI agent swarms. And then it all goes, to one huge sort of a queen bee, if you say, Hivemind, where you can get an answer on any project whatsoever. But we start with Pixels. We took, the first project, targeted Pixels here. And it's about understanding, what's going on in there, how it works. Pixels is very diverse, as I said. We have lots of items, lots of crafting recipes, NPCs, and so on. And not always the documentation is up to date, right? So it was about how can we provide all this information? How can we help users play Pixels? and just get better at it. Maybe instead of Googling and trying to figure out some information, they would rather go buy some pixel and spend it in game and start joining the economy. So what we have here now is first of all a chatbot, which you can find here on DappRadar. You go, you look at pixels, you can ask a question, you can ask pretty much anything. And I hope it gives a good answer here.
I hope it gives a hilarious answer.
Exactly. So, we have a chatbot here. That's one part. And guys, feel free. Feel free to, try it out, give it different kind of prompts, if you find something hilarious, share with us, or something wrong as well. Happy to, looking for feedback. But that's one bit. You have the chatbot that can help you through any kind of question on pixels. But then more than that, I think that's very important. Chatbot is like, for users, if you think about playing. But if you're, a community manager or like a KOL, posting some guides about pixels, or, looking for what kind of content to post, that's also pretty useful. It looks through Twitter, it looks through Discord of pixels, has, knowledge about what's happening on pixels post, on lots of YouTube videos. So you can figure out, getting some content, getting some ideas. You can ask what's popular, what's buzzing. And then also, aside of the chatbot, on the page, on the Pixels page right here. And I think right at this moment, this, what I'm talking about, is not working because they're resetting, kind of doing an upgrade, but you'll find it right after the AMA. You'll find here kind of community sentiment tracker. So you'll see, whether it's bullish or bearish, what are people talking about. You'll find the most sort of influential Twitter accounts there, and all sorts of statistics. So like generally, to kind of wrap it up here, it's about how can we help Pixel ecosystem to get the answers they're looking for, how to maybe spread the word that your guys doing here in AMAs, sharing those updates, and having this sort of proof that's sometimes hard to get in Web3, especially when projects get very complex and attention span is very limited.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, this has been really cool. Just diving into it over the past couple days and playing with the AI. It's fun. I'm excited to see how it also just like learns more and more. So yeah, I've pinned the links directly to this site, and you can see the this is the bot over here on the right if you want to chat with it. It's also
Heidi, sorry, can you refresh the page now?
Oh, did they update it? Is it here? There you go. There's ecosystem highlights.
No, exactly. We have the highlights, and those are, by the way, updating. Like we have different time frames.
Let's go.
Very bullish at this point. Yes.
Love it. Yeah. Okay. So this is also linked directly in game. There's like a giant cube thing that is the DappRadar logo from a previous event. So I thought it was pretty cool, like full circle to use that again. And you guys can find it right in the middle of Terravilla and click on that link. Obviously, this has also been linked in all of the announcement posts, Pixels posts, all of that. And then there's also a really fun other component to this, which is the AI agent is live on Twitter. There's just a little bit of, Twitter nuance to get it going, but soon you're going to be able to just ping it directly on Twitter. And, as you do like Grok, or what was Geo's one? Jai-Ho, or I always kept singing the song Jai-Ho, right? Similar vibes. So it'll be pretty cool to, if you have any questions, or if you're a newer player, or you just missed an AMA or something like that. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for building this, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out.
Let's go. Yeah, really appreciate that collaboration. I want to also shout out to a few Pixels community members who helped us, with early on debugging. So I think you'll recognize the names. Those were I don't know if I pronounced them correctly exactly, but these were Zombina, Brian, No Doubt, and Gozi. So really thanks to them, and I'm inviting everybody to give it a try and let us know what you think.
Okay, cool. So
those are some legends in the Pixel community.
Yeah, they are. That's really cool. Okay, I think the best question we have for you here is, what API do you guys use for the agent?
Oh, a bunch of them.
Yeah, it's a swarm, guys.
Yeah,
It's a
I
swarm.
think the reason why they're asking is because we do have a lot of developers in the Pixel ecosystem that actually might like to build with it or on top of it.
That's something we can certainly discuss. I think it works both ways. We have like these swarms are like, one of them, is, one agent is looking at Twitter, the other is looking at Discord, the other is like crawling, the websites. But if you're building something specific, maybe player stats or like something about crafting, having a database and stuff like that, happy to talk. I think these things can go both ways, and we can just improve the service and how to help Pixels users and community get what they want faster and easier. I think that's the ultimate goal here.
Yeah, really cool. Really cool. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on the AMA and all of, and building it obviously, but also just coming up here and chatting with us. So if you guys have any more questions for the DappRadar team, just continue to post them in the chat, and then we'll see what we can do there. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for coming up, and yeah, we'll see you.
Amazing. Thank you.
See you. Okay. Next segment of AMA. Guys, we've got a whole plan today. There's a lot going on. Okay. Yesterday, we had a big release. So let's quickly dive into it. I will just pull up the release article because I think that's always the best way to go through these things. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Obviously, the last thing we did was the AI agent. So I clicked on that, but so first of all, and you know what, who is it? AFP going off to fighting to the death in the chat about it, saying in the announcement that the small energy boost is in the theater. First of all, it said that when I announced it on Monday. You are correct, and we've changed it. So now it's on the UGC Fair map, and I think you're capable of moving there. Unless you have a bot farm and we need to have a further conversation, I think you're capable of walking to a new map. Second of all, you might be confusing it with the announcement that I just posted, and that is about the AMA for Sleepagachi will be in the theater in 45 minutes. And then I did write it in that one that this has moved. So anyways, moving forward, let's talk about the announcement. So first of all, the UGC Fair went live, which I know everyone already knows that I've been working really hard on, and I was so excited about. And it seems like you guys love it too. So thank you all for participating. Thank you to all of our incredible artists. I think this is such a showcase of what a diverse community we have at Pixels. We have like artists, and Luke just mentioned how many developers we have. We just have such an array of different people in the community, and it's really wonderful. So go to the fair, check it out, and make sure you're supporting your favorite. I'm just gonna also share the map a little bit because here we go. It really is worth exploring. You can go, oh my goodness. Of course, popcorn. See, popcorn. You can come in here and you can, if you're interested in buying any of the UGC, like, I don't know, this pink section looks pretty damn cool. Maybe I want one of these guys. You can come in here. Obviously, can't buy my own listing, and pick one up straight from the map, which is really cool feature that I begged developers to implement for this event. I just bought like a dozen of these, so I don't need any more. But you can, just buy it straight from the map, which is really, really cool. So come check it out. Support your fellow creators. What are you trying to do here? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not giving away anything right now. Okay, cool. Oh, and there's Luke. All right, let's move forward. We had, oh yeah, of course, there's a bunch of events also happening with the fair. It's not just the map. There's tons of things. So there's a creator hide and seek. So every day, one of our content creators is going to post a screenshot of themselves hiding in the fair, and you need to go find them with proof, and there will be one winner per day. So actually a bunch of integrated NFT avatars are going to be given out throughout the week also, which is kind of cool because those are artists in our community also, right? Those are artists that have created NFTs and the animations a lot of the time for the avatars. So it's pretty cool to kind of integrate that in a way. So yeah, go participate in the hide and seek. We actually have one other thing going on. I think I posted it. Okay, I think it's at the bottom of this. But anyways, we have some cool limited time things too. So these really fun pink fences. By the way, you don't need to have a level or a tier. I think they're tier list. They might be tier 2, but that's really accessible to craft them, unlike the Magnute, like the regular ones where you do. Also, these are limited time, so the recipes won't be around forever. So pick them up while the fair is on. There's also green, which if I scroll down, you'll see. And then there's so many events. There's so many events. So we posted about all of the creator run events in the previous one here. But if you scroll through, where are they? Where are they? Here we go. So I think this one happened yesterday. Yeah. So this one was yesterday. But just scroll through our posts. Honestly, it's easiest if you just like go to the Discord event section and hit interested on all of them, and then you'll get reminders anyways. But yeah, there's tons of creator-led events. So I highly recommend you check it all out. And here's the green fence. Okay, cool. So a bunch of other updates went out with the UGC Fair. A lot of them are landowner focused. So landowners, listen up. Listen up. Okay, I'm going to go through this, and then I also have a little bit of an announcement that I think you guys are going to like. Okay. Quicksilver Kickback returns in a whole new way. So you guys have been asking for surplus from crafting benches for a very long time. And just from a design perspective, it's very tricky. And I'm not going to dive into all of the reasons why, because honestly, I'd probably need a designer to explain it all to me again. But there's lots of reasons why just giving like straight surplus doesn't make sense for crafting industries. But it's also like, well, that's not fair. Then I'm not getting anything for having a crafting industry on my land. Like, what's the point? Which I get. I'm a landowner too, right? So this is like a really cool way of giving you guys some form of surplus for having those crafting industries. So the longer crafting sessions that happen, I think that's how it works, give you bigger stacks of Quicksilver in your surplus. And I know pretty much all of our active lands have already received some form of Quicksilver kickback. I do think there's too many types of stacks, because like a lot of, I know surplus, you know, that space is special. And there's like 5 different types. So I actually think we're going to consolidate this a little bit. So there's a bit fewer. They do stack, but when you have like 5 different versions of stacks, that's 5. That's like almost a whole row of surplus. So we hear you on that. I agree with you on that. I think we're going to consolidate it a little bit. Let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking like 3. We'll see. Okay, now let's dive into the next one. So this is a really cool update too. And what it is farm charm points, which used to be called discoverability points, are now intertwined with surplus. So you get farm charm points from a few different things. There are permanent objects, which permanently apply points to your farm land, NFT land. And then there are also farm charms, and now mega farm charms, which you can pick up for various pixel prices in HQ, Pixels HQ. I think Kathleen, we updated her little outfit to have a little Moku hoodie now, which is cute. And you can pick them up from her desk. So, and then they will add a certain percentage on top of the base level, which we now need to talk about. So I would say that the not the balance per se, but like the levels here were definitely to be desired upon release. We have been staring, I'm not gonna say our team has been staring at the data, which is, I think we even put like a little disclaimer here that we were going to be closely monitored and adjustments will be made as needed. So you guys know us. We listen to your feedback. We stare at data for 24 hours straight. Our team has been in conversations, in meetings, staring at the data, reading all of your messages, and doing tons of math and figuring out the algorithms and the equations and all of the complexities that go into systems like this. And some updates have been made, I believe, either, I'm pretty sure they'll happen within today's AMA, within the next hour. So because, and usually I, from like also a PR perspective, or just branding perspective, I don't like to push out updates all the time and annoy you guys with announcements and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to make a new announcement for these changes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this article here and update it with the new values that are going to be reflected in game, like right now. So here they are. Okay. Listen, take notes. You guys can post in the landowner channel. Okay. So one farm charm is now going to, it's still going to cost 2 pixel, but it's going to have 500 points associated to it. Okay, so I believe it was 200 before. It's going to be changed to 500 points. One mega farm charm, this one's changing. It's going to cost 30 pixel and have 10,000 points. Okay, so those are the two changes to the farm charms. And then the base level was 6 to 9%, and that one is getting changed to 8 to 12. Now, the reason it's not 8 to 11 is math. Algorithms, look, it's algorithm, okay? So it's not 8 to 10, it's 8 to 12, which is even better for you guys. So there's no complaining there. Okay, so one farm charm, 500 points for 2 pixel, one mega farm charm, 10,000 points, 30 pixel. And then the base level is 8 to 12%. Okay, so like I said before, I'm going to update this document here with this information instead of pinging everyone again. I don't want to do that. So, but yeah, I'll also hop in landowner chat and write. I'm sure you guys have all written this out. But yeah, okay, cool. So that is not even everything. I'm going to let Luke dive into the vPIXEL support that went out. Lots of really cool stuff coming for the ecosystem. So I'll let him dive into that. And then we also added some cows to the Seaside stash. The last time I saw, 8 out of 10 were already purchased. So they're probably all gone already. But this is pretty cool. I saw you guys really like this. I really liked it, except I am buoy bucks poor. So I could not buy one, unfortunately. And then barbecue items update. They are now tradable, but that also means that the energy component is has been removed. And then the final thing, going back to the UGC Fair, we want you to share your favorite UGC finds on Twitter. Pardon me. So go stand next to your favorite ones, take a little picture and post it on Twitter with this hashtag here. And once again, more mystery integrated NFT avatars will be given away. So it's a busy week. This is a busy week, lots of stuff going on. So make sure you make the most of it. Lots of fun things. Okay. That's everything I wanted to go into. Luke posted a really, really cool tweet yesterday with a bunch of ecosystem related things. So Luke, do you want me to pull up that tweet? Do you want to pull up that tweet? How do you want to talk?
Yeah, we can bring it up in a second. Yeah, maybe you pulled up. But yeah, no, I also want to kind of like give kudos to the team. If you can see, I feel like things feel a little bit different than they did even a month ago, right? You know, we made some changes to how the team works. And I feel like we're starting to see some of the fruits of that already. Like the whole point of making some changes was so that we can start getting out some of the more common sense updates made by people who are actually playing the game consistently, out more quickly. And yeah, we're not going to nail everything 100%, right? But I hope that you guys feel like core game is going in a better direction just with that stuff. And that's not all that they're working on. They're also working on chapter 3 stuff too. So yeah, I just want to give props to the team. I think they're doing a really good job and being good stewards so far. And, you know, not everything they're going to release is going to go like 100% perfect. You know, there might be some things that need to get changed quickly, but also look, like things are getting fixed quickly when things aren't like, you know, quite perfect either. So yeah, I hope things feel better there to everybody else. And keep giving feedback, keep giving us like more suggestions. I'm telling you, like everybody who's involved in decision making now does see this stuff. They read it, like a lot of them even respond to it quite often. So yeah, keep giving feedback on how you guys think changes are going, like other, you know, minor things. And then we're still working on chapter 3, right? So that's kind of the end goal here for the next like 3 to 4 months, like get a chapter 3 built out, done, finished, and you know, start to bring in like more unique types of gameplay towards the end of the game. Yeah, are you gonna bring up that tweet, Heidi?
Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Oh, I stopped sharing my screen. Let me do that again. All right. We good? Yes. Okay.
Okay, sweet. So couple of major announcements. We've been working a ton on the staking ecosystem stuff on the back end for a while. And we released a really big upgrade to all the smart contracts after thorough audits. You can go and check them if you want. That basically unlock a ton of functionality for staking. So the first one is we basically got all the vPIXEL stuff done across all of the ecosystem. So that includes core game and in staking as well. I don't know if you can see it in core game yet, but it's all in there. It's in the code, right? Do you know if you can see vPIXEL in any of the UX elements yet, Heidi? I think maybe
I think in the dashboard you
Yeah.
can. I'd have to check, honestly.
Yeah, but the key point is it's all there. Like if we wanted to fully roll out vPIXEL, we could basically do it today if we wanted, but we're going to slowly roll it out. So if you guys aren't familiar, vPIXEL is the first implementation of app tokens in the wild. An app token is a new type of ERC20, a new type of cryptocurrency, basically. It's a new primitive. And what it allows us to do is it allows us to create a new type of cryptocurrency that has some rules around it. So with a normal ERC20, that's like the typical, cryptocurrency, the typical crypto token. There's really no rules. Anyone can send anything to anybody with any amounts. And that's what most cryptocurrencies are. Now, app tokens allow you to kind of do some interesting things. We didn't even take full advantage of what app tokens can do because we're the first one out, right? It's pretty crazy what they might be able to do in the long run, especially when you think about in-game economy design. We might even release more. Like a really good application of an app token, for example, would be like some of the in-game resources or like there's like weird banking stuff that you can do, but basically just like think about it as a programmable token. The way that we are using app tokens is we created a new token called vPIXEL. vPIXEL is a spend or stake only token. We might name it something else later, but we wanted to kind of make it understandable. vPIXEL is backed 1-to-1 with normal pixel. That means if you want to spend or stake vPIXEL that you earn inside of the ecosystem, it's worth just as much as earning a normal pixel. You'll still be able to spend it wherever you can spend normal pixel, and you'll be able to stake it, and it'll act just like a normal pixel when you stake it as well. Now, the cool thing about vPIXEL is you're going to have some options when you go to withdraw and deposit. So one is you'll be able to withdraw vPIXEL without paying any fee. So no farmer fee for withdrawing vPIXEL on the in-game dashboard. If you guys are aware and you guys are playing, I know you guys are aware, you have to pay a farmer fee to withdraw a normal pixel right now, right? So if your intention was just always to stake the token or to spend it inside of the game, vPIXEL would actually be a lot better for you because you don't have to pay any farmer fee. Then you can just go and withdraw it, stake it, and it acts just like a normal pixel. You can go spend it in another game in the ecosystem, like if you want to spend it in Pixel Dungeons, for example. And your life is merry and happy the rest of it. So all of that infrastructure is built. It's in. It's all throughout the staking contracts in the staking dashboard. And we're going to slowly test out support for vPIXEL rewards inside of core pixels over the next couple of weeks, right? Now, here's transparently like the big question that we're asking. Like, vPIXEL is supposed to be worth as much as Pixel, right? You can spend it and you can stake it just like you would a normal pixel. Now, the big question is, will people still want to earn it as much as a normal pixel? And what's the difference? So that's what we have to kind of like tease and roll out and get some data on. The reason why this is good for the ecosystem is if we can start to give out more vPIXEL, right? That's actually very, very good for the token health in the long run, right? We can start kind of easing sell pressure on the token. And if it's something that people want, that's great for everybody still, right? So that's kind of the end goal there. Second big update. And this is kind of complicated. The second one, I hope people will start to understand it. And it seems like not a big deal, but then it is a big deal when you really start to think about it. So in the staking ecosystem, now games can give out any kind of token as a reward to their stakers. So previously, games were only able to give out Pixel as a reward to their stakers, right? We just made a really big change where now if you are a game in the Pixel ecosystem, you can reward any token to your stakers. That means you can reward Ronin, you can reward USDC, you can still reward Pixel, you can reward vPIXEL if you wanted to. And why this is a big deal is because this should ease a lot. This should do two things, basically. This should ease a lot of friction for new games coming into the Pixel ecosystem. So now we don't need to force any game in the Pixel ecosystem to use Pixel to monetize. Now that could sound like a bad thing, but listen to point two and it makes sense. This is a good thing for one reason. We get to get more games that are willing to use or join the Pixel ecosystem, right? Like we don't really have to ask for anything special from them. They can just keep doing what they're doing. We can have them give out some Pixel as rewards, but they don't have to change any of their payments. They don't have to change what they're doing in game. It becomes a lot easier for them to join, basically. The other interesting thing too is, if we can use some Web2 companies to join the Pixel ecosystem, they don't have to go and integrate a like cryptocurrency that they don't want to, right? They could do payments in fiat, change the fiat into USDC, and then give out rewards in USDC, right? That's pretty huge. So that's the second part now also. Now that games can give out any ERC20, they can also start to give out rewards that aren't necessarily unhealthy for the token ecosystem, right? So this is one flaw of many staking ecosystems. Basically any, right? Like Solana, ETH, they all have this problem. Solana is one that's talked about a lot, right? Solana, in order to secure the network, they need to give out a lot of Solana to their validators, right? And what they're doing is basically diluting the value of Solana every single time they give out rewards to their validators, right? Because these validators might have Solana balances, right? And they might, put up a lot of Solana to go and make a validator, or same thing with ETH, right? But then they typically always sell the validator rewards, right? That's natural, right? Like, why would you not sell the rewards that you're getting from validating? Like, you're an active part of the ecosystem and you should be rewarded. You can restake them, but a lot of people sell the rewards that they get also. Now, that becomes an issue for Solana, right? Because every single time that they give out these rewards to their validators, that's more sell pressure on their token, right? Now, if we started giving out rewards in USDC, that removes the sell pressure of staking rewards from the native token, right? The token can still be used to stake. So there's more reason to stake the token. And if we give out rewards to validate, or if we give out rewards to stakers, if a validator gives out rewards to stakers, they can give out rewards that are basically non-dilutive to the token. It doesn't hurt the token. It doesn't add extra sell pressure onto the token. So that's the point of that, right? So this unlocks a couple of really interesting economic changes to the ecosystem. Basically, we can start to add in more games, potentially even Web2 games into the staking ecosystem. And then we can start to give out rewards that are, not harmful to Pixel in the long run as well. So that's exciting. Pixel Dungeons will actually start doing this quite soon. If you notice, I saw some comments on Twitter when they started adding in USDC payments, being like, how does this help stakers? Well, how this can help stakers is they can take in USDC payments. Now somebody doesn't have to figure out how to get Pixel, right? That's a big piece of friction for a new user playing Pixel Dungeons, where they might have a very hard time trying to figure out, how to get Pixel. Like, they might have USDC, but then, okay, they have to go and swap it. Maybe they have USDC on a different chain, right? How do they get Pixel from USDC on, Abstract into, Pixel on Ronin? Like, now they don't have to do that. like a team that's in the Pixel ecosystem can just collect any revenue in any token in any chain, and then still distribute rewards to stakers on Ronin. Maybe the team has to go and do the swaps themselves, right? Maybe the team has to convert into other currencies. But yeah, we can still build out yield for the ecosystem and for stakers in more interesting ways, right? So that's kind of the concept behind that. The other thing that we introduced is we introduced new analytics onto the pages, right? We've been talking about this for a little bit of time. Those 2 pictures of the new analytics. So you get better information on, what each game is doing when it comes to return on reward spend and when it comes to revenue and rewards. The next chart's even more interesting. If you go to the next one. Yeah. So basically, as we've been building out the staking ecosystem, we've also been building out like a big SDK around analytics for Web3 games, right? Like this is actually some like pretty deep and really cool big tech that we've been building out. Kind of like play to earn as a service almost. All the insights that you need to build out a play to earn or rewarded play game. We've been building that out. Now you get to see insights into how many rewards each game is giving out and how much revenue they're doing too. So why you would want to know this is because we're going to be moving into phase 2 of a staking ecosystem quite soon. And all of that infrastructure has been built and it's kind of ready to go. We just need to decide when we go live with it. But if you guys don't remember what phase 2 of the staking ecosystem is it's when we're going to start changing the amount of rewards that each game gets to give out based on how much Pixel they have staked to them. So basically, it's kind of a way to let the stakers vote on which games get to give out rewards to players, right? So it's not in the Pixels team's hands anymore. Basically, it's kind of in your guys' hands on what game should be getting rewards to give out. And how this kind of works, right, is if a game is doing better, if a game has better roars, if they're doing better with revenue, they're probably going to be able to give out more rewards to their stakers, right? So you guys need this information, these charts specifically, to know where the best place to stake is, right? So any game in the Pixel ecosystem that uses this SDK, it's not all of them yet. Like you might not see this on Forgotten Runiverse. Sleepygachi is integrating this SDK right now. You'll start to see this data. It's really helpful data. This is actually probably a product that we're going to offer to other teams as a service in the long run, right? Because it was hard to build, and it ties in with some other stuff that we're doing too. Next week, maybe the week after, you're going to start to see some more information on like new earn mechanisms that we're going to be offering soon, and it all ties into this. But yeah, basically, it's a bunch of cool insights that we can give to you guys, to other teams, on how rewards work the best inside of the game. So those are the big updates to the staking ecosystem. I hope that all made sense. I'm sure there's going to be some questions. I hope you guys care, because yeah, there will probably be one more wave of big updates to the staking ecosystem until it's mostly done. There'll be some minor stuff after that, right? Like we'll keep updating the UX. Like for example, what we need to add and fix in the staking UI right now is a better like average APR. So how do you determine APR when we give out USDC rewards and Pixel rewards and Ronin rewards and vPIXEL rewards all from the same validator? We kind of have to like combine all of them to like build out a predicted or estimated APR, right? It depends on the day sometimes, right? So there will be some enhancements like that coming, but then the last final big enhancement will be multi-chain support for staking too. That way we can start to work with any game inside of Web3 that still wants to give out rewards. We're still bullish on rewarded play and on play to earn. I know it's becoming a little more controversial again, and I think it's silly to be bearish too much on play to earn, right? We have our own thoughts on the evolution of play to earn. Like some of the things we've been doing at Pixels probably aren't working long run. But then, you have teams like Sleepygachi and like Pixel Dungeons showing like no, you actually can build sustainable models, and you actually can make play to earn work in the long run too. So yeah, we're excited to see where that goes. We think we need chapter 3 out to kind of get that for Pixels, and that's what the team is rushing towards. But yeah, I'll stop talking. We'll start answering some questions before we go now.
There are tons and tons of questions. I'm going to bring up one that I know I can answer. Yes, correct. You have to do 2 transactions now, and this is to support the multi-use, the multi-token update.
Yeah, this was one downgrade in the user experience with this, but it was kind of, we had to. So think about it. If we're giving out rewards in multiple tokens, say that you get USDC and you get Ronin and you get Pixel from a validator, you can't restake the Ronin and the USDC. You can only restake the Pixel, right? So that's why you have to do 2 transactions now. You have to claim and then restake. Not the most ideal situation, but that's why we had to change that.
Okay, sorry. Before we move on, I get asked this question every single time I sit in this specific place within my apartment. I think it's the camera, guys. Yes, my roof is slanted. It is. I live in like the top floor of this tiny apartment building, and the roof goes like this. There's 2 floors over there. Okay. This is straight. I promise. My wall is not slanted. It goes vertical like that. It's the camera. Okay, moving forward, actual questions that matter. Great. I flagged a bunch while you've been talking. I actually think maybe just scroll through and choose the ones that you.
Yeah. So where do you get the USD, guys? I feel like we explain this all the time. So, but this is like a common question I'm seeing. Where do you get the USDC though? It's not from us selling Pixel. It's from us doing revenue. And like, say that the game in the Pixel ecosystem was just to take credit card payments, right? They make USD, they turn it into USDC, they give that out as rewards, right? So they can still monetize in Pixel, or they can still monetize in other things. The idea is just make payments really easy. So Pixel Dungeons is a good example. They're about to introduce USDC payments into the game again, right? Their revenue will primarily be in USDC then. And then also, I still think they might take in some Pixel and vPIXEL, right? But like, they're going to mostly do USDC. So they're going to be making revenue in USDC, and that's how they distribute it. Some people asked, yeah, same question. If staking rewards come from Pixel spending game, where the other currency come from? It's basically just making it less friction to spend inside the game. Credit card payments is super important. But then also just like, it's kind of hard to get Pixel regardless of, it being on exchanges, right? Even like the withdrawal deposit system isn't the best. So we want to make it frictionless. So the USDC rewards would come from USDC revenue inside of the game, right? We take Pixel, if we take USDC, we can give out both as rewards, right? Somebody said remove sell pressure from Pixel, but also removes value from Pixel. No. So think about why somebody would still want Pixel in this scenario, right? If you still stake Pixel to get USDC, that's pretty interesting, right? If having staked Pixel gives you yield, right, or constant rewards of USDC, that's pretty valuable. I would want that, right? Especially depending on the APR. Honestly, if I could get USDC from staking Pixel, truthfully, that's probably better than getting normal Pixel, right? And if I want more Pixel, I can buy more Pixel with that USDC reward that I get, right? And keep staking that too. Maybe long term we'll give out some options too, where it's like, okay, I got a USDC reward and I want to restake that USDC. Maybe we can add like an auto buy feature where you buy more Pixel and then you restake that Pixel. But yeah, initially the UX would be if we give out USDC rewards, you'll get USDC. And then, yeah, there's like ongoing yield from game revenue from the ecosystem, basically, like from good performing games that people want to be spending. So that's kind of the concept there. So basically, we are not getting Pixel anymore as rewards. No, that's not the case. But maybe in 2 years, we're not giving out Pixel anymore as rewards, and we're just giving out USDC, or we're just giving out vPIXEL instead, right? I kind of like to view Pixel in the long run as stake only, right? But in the short run, it's a really good way to bootstrap towards positive economics, right? This is why we talk about return on reward spend all of the time, and why return on reward spend is so important. When return on reward spend is over 1, then we can switch most rewards to USDC, right? And you still need Pixel, because if you want to stake Pixel to get some USDC yield, you'll need it, right? But maybe you're not going to be spending it inside the games in the same way, and maybe you're not going to get rewarded it inside of the games. Or maybe we'll still give out vPIXEL, right? So you can still, you still have a chance to get Pixel that you can stake and then earn USDC or any of these other things, right? vPIXEL kind of makes sense now. Is the conversion of vPIXEL to Pixel 1-to-1 and permanent. So every single vPIXEL will be backed 1-to-1 with a real pixel. This is pretty cool, because what that means, if we start giving out vPIXEL, we're actually going to be taking a normal pixel out of circulation, right? So every single new vPIXEL that we create basically locks a normal pixel forever, and it takes it out. So that's kind of a way to shrink the circulating supply of pixel if people want vPIXEL, right? If people don't want vPIXEL, then that doesn't really work. But yeah, that's kind of the concept there. So the conversion of vPIXEL to Pixel will be one way. If you convert Pixel into vPIXEL, you can't convert vPIXEL back. There's a couple reasons for that, but vPIXEL basically can't be turned back into Pixel. Will vPIXEL affect the price of the Pixel token? Now, I can't talk about price of tokens, right? But I can talk about some of the economics. So that concept there is the important part, where because vPIXEL is backed 1-to-1 with normal pixel, vPIXEL is actually going to be taking normal pixel out of circulating supply, and that's less normal pixel that can be sold every single month, right? So that's a pretty big benefit to the ecosystem. What do you expect to happen with in-game APR at Pixels after vPIXEL is introduced? Is there still a 3-day period if I switch vPIXEL between games? So if you stake vPIXEL inside of the ecosystem, it will be counted the same as staking normal pixel, right? So there won't be separate APRs for staking vPIXEL or Pixel. It'll be the same reward distribution to both, right? Like your vPIXEL, if you stake it, will be worth just as much as a normal pixel. It will have the same yield as normal pixel, so that won't change. I can't really speak on to like how that will change revenue or anything like that. I can't see the future. What I will say is I would assume that there will probably be a premium on normal pixel over vPIXEL, right? So people might be willing to spend more to earn a normal pixel versus a vPIXEL. So maybe that would lower the APR in that aspect. But also, maybe we can give out more vPIXEL each month, right, than normal pixel, because it's not really hurting the token in the same way, right? So we can maybe make up for that also. There is a bunch of banked like Pixel, because we haven't fully given out the 28 million every single month. 1 month we only, in the beginning months of Pixel, I think like the first 3 to 4 months, we only gave out like 10 million Pixel a month when the price was like, 50 cents to $1. $10 million of rewards a month was more than plenty for the user base at that time, right? So yeah, there's some banked and saved Pixel. You can all see it on chain. So that could be a good opportunity to kind of like lock up more of that Pixel as vPIXEL rewards. So right now, if you stake normal Pixel, you'll still get normal Pixel as a reward. Yes. Again, so vPIXEL and Pixel are treated the same. Basically what happens is the game will just send rewards to a contract and it sends it to the users, right? So it treats if you have vPIXEL or pixels the same. You can't even really discriminate between the two, right? So, if we gave out 1 million pixel to all stakers, it's going equally, according to proportion to vPIXEL and pixel stakers. No way to turn vPIXEL back into pixel for legal reasons. It makes it a lot smoother to not do this. And then we can do some more interesting things if you can't do that. Like, for example, a reason why you might not want vPIXEL to turn back into pixel from the perspective of an ecosystem, protocol, or game is there's likely an opportunity to sell vPIXEL for US dollars directly, or even sell it by credit card, which would be pretty interesting for the ecosystem, right? Because then if you can sell vPIXEL by credit card, you can lock up a lot of normal pixel because it's backed one-to-one with real pixel, right? What I mean about permanent one-to-one, is it permanent one-to-one, or by chance like 2 vPIXEL to 1 pixel, or will the ratio be volatile depending on the demand of pixel? Yeah, so I mean, how the smart contract is written is, in code is law, right? We can't change it on a whim. Is each vPIXEL is backed one-to-one with a normal pixel. There could be interesting things where you change that ratio, right? To me, that's not like a very good user experience. Like, truthfully, if we wanted to change the ratio of vPIXEL to pixel, like we want to back 1 vPIXEL with 2 pixel, for example, or back 1 vPIXEL with like 5 pixel or half a pixel, like whatever ratio that we wanted, it would probably be easier just to release a new token, right? What we wanted, and why we're even calling it vPIXEL versus, like, we could have called it berry, we could have called it gold, we could have called it anything else, is we want you guys to understand that it's worth the same as a normal pixel when it comes to spending or when it comes to staking. How do rewards or incentives for validators in proof of stake models impact the sustainability of a token ecosystem? I mean, yeah, so that's one of the problems with staking long run, but some tokens can overcome it because there's, like, for example, Solana or ETH, there's a lot of institutional buy pressure in the short to medium term, right? But one of the big issues and one of the big criticisms of Solana is incentives for validators and proof of stake models are actually like very inflationary. Like, I think Solana inflates 7%, maybe more than that a year. I can't remember the numbers. Maybe it was 7% a month. It was something crazy. Fact check me on that, please. But I know the emissions of Solana, it's just a good example, are very, very high, specifically from this, right? And if they weren't doing this, the token would probably be much fundamentally better, right? I do think this is going to probably be what a lot of protocols move to in the long run, where they give out emissions in other tokens. Now, you can only do this if you, as a protocol, are making revenue in other tokens too, right? Otherwise, it's silly. So yeah, if Solana wanted to give out USDC rewards, right? Like, they would probably have to, and they actually can't even legally do this. They have to like sell Solana for USDC at like the top, and then build a treasury of USDC, and then give out rewards later. It doesn't make sense for something like them, right? So this is where dApps become a lot more interesting because they actually can build out revenue streams of other tokens much easier.
Okay, I'm just say we've got 3 minutes left and we are not going overtime because Sleepagachi launched like 2 days ago or yesterday. I don't know. The days are long. Okay, they just launched and they're doing like a 3-week launch of their app. So they are having an AMA and we're all going to go back to the theater. I know we're on the UGC Fair map right now. We're going to head back to the theater in Terravilla to watch their AMA. So Luke, you've got 2 more minutes to squeeze in. No overtime today.
Yeah, well, okay, this is a great point. If Pixels was an iPhone app, I'm pretty sure it'll be making a ton of revenue in USDC. That's kind of some of the realizations that we've had also, to be honest. That's why Pets app will be mobile first. We'll do payments in USD and credit card, and we'll still make it work with the staking. So I'm very excited and bullish about that. And that is honestly generally where we're going to be pushing a lot of like the people that we work with to do. Because we think it just makes sense. Like we've probably missed out on so much revenue at Pixels by not having credit card payments. Like I'm talking tens of millions of dollars. Like, and yeah, it'd be a different story right now for us if we had done that, right? We'd be sitting on a huge treasury of USDC rather than just like, you know, doing what we did where we have a community treasury with tokens that are basically locked and tucked away of all the revenue that we did. But we're on the same page. So we can still make a game Web3 where we give out benefits to the community and have community ownership over how the game performs, right? Without having everything on chain, or without having like all the payments on chain, or without like forcing the cryptocurrency in the game where it adds more friction. So that's the stuff that we're thinking about right now. And I think that's all the time that we have now.
Yes, and I'm replying to someone.
That said, the person that said I would look more handsome with a short beard.
Yeah, perfect. We can end on that note. Okay, guys, everyone in game, let's go. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Shoot. Let's go. Let's go to the theater. I think team is setting up a portal, but we can just all walk there together for now. Okay, we're gonna go.
You're making them walk.
I'm gonna make you walk for now. I did tell the team to set up some portals, so if they see my messages in time, they will set up some portals to take you directly from the UGC Fair map to the theater. But for now, we can get our steps in. Okay, we got to get our 10,000 daily steps.
It counts in Pixels.
Oh my God. Pixels is the reason I don't hit 10,000 some days. So anyways, let's go. We can all chill in here. And you guys are watching me do things. Here we go. Popcorn is set up and we can click here and watch the Sleepagachi AMA all together in the theater. So with that, we're going to say goodbye because we want you guys watching this AMA. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.